afternoon. To the inner wild. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. Today is September. No, why do I keep saying September? Because it's already gonna be next week. It is actually August 26th, 2021. Okay. Now we got that confirmed. I am going to be working with the Omega Land Tarot once again, or again. And I did a personal read just moments ago. Aw, did I just hurt it? No. That's what happens when your inner child goes a little unruly. Bottom of the deck is the sun. Ooh. And it found its winning. Very happy. Self-sustained. This is a very happy, joyous moment. Okay, so that energy for the evening. And today we're going to just see what's up, see what to focus on. I hope your day was well. I'm learning to I was going to tell you, I am learning to love myself more every day. More consciously now. That sounds silly to some, but I think I can only speak for myself, okay? Yeah, the Four of Swords came out. And this is finding a resting moment. Like, I have never been in a zombie apocalypse or anything like that before. And this is, I can imagine losing sleep and being on edge constantly. And then, after all of that wear and tear of despair, have that resting point. Usually the Four of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith, at least, but I think depicted in many, is more like, what is the way to describe it? Angels. Angels, I invite you in. Spirit, our higher selves, our guardian angels. The angels, yep. And our ancestors, yeah. We're talking about, you know, surviving, being a warrior. And oh, I hear, oh, ringing in my ear, 402. It's a loud, yeah, that's important. I thought it was silly when I was gonna say warriors, but then as I was saying it, I thought it sounded corny or something, but it was like, I'm supposed to say it. And then this like loud pitch ringing in my right ear. Very loud. It's just dying away. 426. Interesting, huh? That was the first time, you know, with these things on that it was that loud. So it is very important. Our ancestors want to speak. Or they are. And yeah. And being so, it's just a reminder. There's a long pause here where I completely lost my train of thought and I get frustrated with myself and the occurrence. It happens when there's something traumatic experienced. I forget point blank. No, it's disturbing to see it from the exterior, knowing what it's like on the inside. like relief. It's weird.
One important thing I learned in times of distress is how to redirect my energy with focus rather than distraction, to let go and diffuse the energy rather than actively compound it.
Safe point. That's what that is. The other versions are tame, is what I was going to say. Thank you, angels. I really just let it go at a certain point, and I was like, oh, if I don't remember, I don't remember. And that's what I don't remember. And it's just fine. Okay, so Four of Swords. That is such a... This is the best Four of Swords that I have seen yet. This is like much needed rest and recuperation. So we have the Six of Cups. This is kinship. This is, you know, connections that reminded, yeah, oh, your inner child remembers. That was like a life. Having that experience. So it's a revival of that. The ability for that. Excuse me for just a moment. On that. Give me a second. It went to a Five of Cups, which is, it's depicted more of like the Five of Pentacles, you know. The way they depict it here, I just need to look closer at this. It's like substance abuse. Playtime got a little too far. There's something, I don't know why. Why would I get this? You tell me. Just kidding. You wouldn't want to. Okay. But it's okay. Why is it like that though? Why is it upright? Maybe I'm not seeing things right. Give me a sec.
Weird thing about this part is that while editing, sirens started flaring.
Why is it like that? Can you elaborate further on the Five of Cups, Knight of Wands, but it's like this?
I was honestly stumped and threw the sequence of cards back in the deck because I didn't want to welcome uninvited energies into the reading.
I don't understand. Angels, what's going on here? What is going on?
Sometimes we call forfeit rather than throwing reckless abandon to just withdraw or tap out when we need a break. This moment helped me realize that sometimes it's okay to do that because you have to face the reality of what cards are in hand, even if it's held with confusion.
And yeah.
So I continually remind myself it's okay not to have the answers yet, because it doesn't imply that I don't have the tools. The more I got frustrated with the perception of not being equipped to understand, the more frustration I brought, to the point where I was almost commanding an answer from the universe. To me, that was pretty disrespectful, if not conceptually juvenile. So it was just time for me to let go and start again when the time was right.
Going on. I don't understand this. Sorry, I'm going to just cut it here. Hello everyone again. Returning to finish off a reading I started editing. By the way, it is September 30th, a Monday, and welcome to my Monday evening. I started out editing a reading that I kind of cut off at this point, the Knight of Wands, because I just didn't quite understand what was happening. And in hindsight, what I think it is that I was being given a message of the type of energy that could explain what was going on around me. I don't remember what I threw back in the deck, but I do know that it stopped at this card, Knight of Wands. And now that I'm now that I'm looking at it, the resemblance here is very, very strong. Here to here. So there's an element of unruliness, determination, but it's egocentric. I don't know if I could call this passionate as much, but it's very forceful drive, okay? And you see that a lot with substance abuse, the inconsistencies and the dependency solely based on the reliance of such substance. So you kind of see that in his eyes as well. And yeah, and his grip on both sides. So it's like taking the bull by the horns. But let me go ahead and find out a little bit more. These other cards flew out, but I didn't invite Spirit in just yet, so I'm going to throw them back just for the sake of getting the highest messages out. Something that's for our highest good. So let's go ahead and draw in Spirit. Spirit, I call you in. Our ancestors, both those that are watching as well as mine. Our guardian angels, the angels, our higher selves, and our inner children continued on from this initial message. So let's go ahead and call them in. I want to look a little bit more on the Knight of Wands, excuse me. See if there's anything else that I'm missing. He might look like trouble, but he's actually pretty cool. He's confident and quick to act, which at times can be a bit much for some people, but I've had nothing but good experiences with him. He's not unfamiliar with going out and cracking heads, I'll admit. Assuredness. Yeah, I see that, but I don't see the vigor of passion. It's more mental based here. It's not completely heart driven, and that's kind of what worries me. Yeah, that kind of perspective. Okay, so let's go ahead and find out. Spirit, can you please clarify this, because I feel like this message is unfinished. Clarify the Knight of Wands, what that means. Four of Swords. So there is
healing in, oh, okay. This Knight of Wands has experienced, okay, this youthful innocence, that life, and then feeling destitute, feeling that cold hard loss, and making the best of things still, even with your dying counterparts, your dying friends or loved ones. But at the same time, there's still like a certain amount of aloofness and inability to help your neighbor, help the situation, and the acceptance of that. That's, what do you want to say, angels? There's perspective, but also not like a full rounded one. And it's comprehending what it's like to live without certain luxuries as our youth depicted. So then when we are older, this is the age of maturation, it's what our takeaways were cumulative. Yes, because I'm looking at this like blackjack, right? Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it like that. And that what seems like a degradation from one cup lost is like fuel to move forward with determination. Because yet again we have this resting point here of healing, and all of us mourn in different ways. Yeah, I think that's really what's important when we get to this card, that we mourn in different ways. But regardless, we have our cycles of healing as well. Yeah, how do we say it? Because we mourn differently, we also heal differently. Yes. I said this in an old reading, but I guess I haven't edited it yet, so this is resurfacing for this. Maybe it's tied together, but eventually we get back up on our feet and we move forward. We get back on the bike to roll out of our situation, because staying stagnant is not the answer. Yeah, so there's that. And then finding a safe point to heal, like for real. Is there something else that you wanted to convey, Spirit? Is there any more clarification? I feel like that was one. Four of Cups. Yeah, 65444. Maybe we need to look at master number 44. Because we also see a strong similarity here with a certain amount of aloofness, disillusioned. Like, this guy looks kind of like he's sitting in the Nine of Cups, traditionally speaking. Satisfied. But at the same time, it's like jaded happiness. Not seeing, oh, it's blocking things out. It's blocking out the dangers right here. You see how it's that destitute, that world back here? It's back there, right? So that's what you moved away from, but at the same time, creating boundaries doesn't mean that you are blocking your vision from that. It's when you create strong boundaries, you are more empowered. This guy needs a reality check. Okay, it's not blocking those obstructions out, but it's, how do I say it? It's not completely closing yourself off to your previous world. Like, that's still a reality. That's the main thing. It's getting the whole picture. That is equal to the foundation that you rest upon. Do you see that? Compared to that, it's very, very close.
And it's imaging. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah, because the last thing that I wrote on the edit was using my energy to directing my energy with more focus rather than distraction, something of that sort. So that's what I'm seeing there. This is distraction. Like out of sight, out of mind. That's what it is. Out of sight, out of mind. Whereas this is like you're focused on healing, on using the moment for what it serves to its highest capacity. Yeah. To regenerate. Yep. And I feel like some of the things that we're dealing with, we have to kind of sleep on, be patient with. Yeah. Death. Oh man. Do you see this? I was like wondering what this dude was doing back here, like this whole time, because that seems really eerie. Okay. But then death comes. And do you see that? That's the perspective of the inside. So something awful is happening on the other side. This is like a bridge. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Because that looks like a rifle, doesn't it? That's what I thought when I first got it. And I was like, what? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But then when you look at here, there, and then you see, oh my gosh, the barbed wire. Do you see that? How, what? It's a loss of innocence. Yeah, because on the other side, this guy in the blue shirt is the guy in the blue shirt bleeding the Five of Cups. And the girl in the red top is the girl in red here. Looking over. Oh, gosh. There's a lot of energy carried throughout. You see, there's initial caring, like concern, and then there's distance, or, you know, like this is feminine, masculine, masculine. So there's like a carryover of energies on a concern versus indifference, almost aloofness. And so there is a definite loss of innocence, which doesn't degrade things necessarily. It's just it's an environment in which, how do I say it? Because things are burning over here off in the distance. Do you see that? So it's like almost like night and day. But this portal is, you see the bridge. So, okay. Yes. Okay. So there's like this midpoint. The grass isn't greener on the other side. Do you see that? It's like the green is very synonymous here. This is like in between these pastures right here. And that's like the, that here. So let me just get this straightened out in my head. Okay, so this is far beyond. This is the midpoint. Okay, this is up front. But in order to get there, it's here. Okay, I need to really look at this. Because indoors, we're also looking at this because this is inside the building. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is so, I have to like really look at this now that I'm looking at it logistically speaking. 4, 5, 4, 13, 36. Okay, so what do you want to supplement this picture with, Spirit? Because Magician. Okay, this is Spirit telling us that we can of course do whatever we want to do, but the true power in this is deciding on what we will do.
with our power, with our tools, with our resources, regardless of what kind of light is shed on the external. That we have all that we need on our table in our working area. And you see there's again barbed wire in the back. This is calling attention to this area because you see barbed wire. It's either like you do or you don't. And it's more so you're damned if you don't. Wait. It's not you're damned if you do. That's the energy that there's another message here though. Oh, okay. This is, you see this? The goggles on the top. This is very similar to that message with the bat, the hermit. That reading with the bat with red eyes is very indicative of this. 1946 on the clock. When I'm looking at this, I recall that the bat was getting out of hermit mode, and because it was in reversal, and it was looking at, you know, the environment, the people that were kind of bonding, doing their thing, and nostalgic, kind of taking that in from afar. So there might be a separate message there too, but what I'm seeing here is getting out of hermit mode and doing your thing, because you have more than the means to survive. You are able to inspire others by your own methods. That's us. That's what we're doing here. It's realizing the grass is green on both sides. Is there something else? Let's go ahead and read that too. I feel like that one's too. King of Swords, really standing in for what you believe in. This is almost like a Robin Hood. Has morals. You see the civilization in the background, accessibility to that. Very smart guy. The Magician says some people can thrive in unexpected environments, but I get the idea this guy could thrive anywhere. He's a consummate tinkerer and can turn seemingly useless junk into something great. The wheels in his head are always turning, even if it doesn't seem that way to outsiders. Skill, artfulness, yeah. So you see this in more of like a practical combative force. Yeah, so I really feel like we're pretty much done here now. I'm going to ask Spirit for any closing remarks on this. Let me just double check here. So it's really going at it with vigor, because even though that there's like a loss of passion in that youthful aspect, that it's still seated within you, and that's part of your driving force. That experience alone, that life and that knowledge, you still take that with you, even though the world may seem very callous, unforgiving. Yeah, Eight of Cups, higher perspectives. It landed in the same way that the Knight of Wands did. So we're going for that. Yeah. 3, 6, 7. Where's the 8th one? Wait a minute. It's supposed to be 8 of Cups, but I only see 3, 6, 7. Oh, the centered one is a canteen. Yeah. So when you gain traction going solo, you're able to upgrade, as Spirit does with your resources, that when you're going somewhere where you're going to need to be more equipped, and Spirit's going to equip you with that. So you upgrade from a 2-wheeler independent to a 4-wheeler, the capacity to bring on others because of that higher perspective. Yeah. Do you have any closing comments, Spirit? 24:04 on the clock. Very nice, Spirit. I like it. Okay. And not to be afraid of death, because death is only but a silhouette, is a shadow, darkness that we all will encounter one day. Although this looks like a very callous version of death, which death is impersonal. Our coping mechanism isn't to go with like ignorance is bliss, because backed by that is this.
It's really working out things, having a good attitude with that, you know, knowing that sometimes you have to leave certain situations, even if they seem, you know, pretty good. You have to leave certain situations behind in order to get further in life, yeah? Stand up for what you believe in. That's what we need to do. And part of that is believing in ourselves so that, like, we're our own ride or die. And Spirit backs that completely. This is like your resting point in transit. Like, yeah, I think that's it, right, Spirit? Okay, one last. Nine of Cups, abundance, happiness, finding that, elevating finally from 8 to 9, definitely. Yeah, your feet are all cramped. But now you really get to not just have a resting point, but find satisfaction in what you've done. You've come this far and you succeeded. That's what that is. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it today. All right. I hope that helped you. That definitely helped me because I had all of these questions like, what is this? I realized that energy is energy and that we can pick up from where we left off. And that's the true nature of energy outside of cards. So why can't we apply that to the cards? And I think we pretty much made some good sense out of this with Spirit's help, the Ascended Masters, our angels, our guardians, our higher selves, and our inner children. So we have all of them to thank for this, and our ancestors. Remember the ringing in the ear. Our ancestors have gone through all of this, regardless of how ancient their ways may have been. There's a strong mirror to what we're going through, and they really, really, really want us to see that. Almost like it's not just darkness, it's what you don't see, the things that are forgotten until we're faced with them. Yes. Yes. All right, I think that's it. Thanks very much for watching. Please hit like if you liked it, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and if you feel like it, if you feel compelled, I would certainly appreciate a donation. Until then, hope to see you on the next run. Bye for now. One more. I flipped, and I was doing the shuffling, and when I turned it off, this came out just like the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune. So this definitely ties into that first reading. You can find out the meaning there. It's pretty short. So see you again later. Thank you very, very much.